Yeah, right.
Whoa, this ain't going.
Be down the side. And
But I appreciate everybody on the chat tonight for your comments.
Good evening,
good
everybody.
evening, everyone. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
I think it's been a busy time for everybody, right?
Little too busy.
That's
I'll
true.
second that motion right there. It has been a little bit too busy.
My schedule's been crazy, and it's about to get worse next week for me.
Yeah, I hear you. I
Hey,
guess,
at least I'm gonna have weekends off now.
well, that's
As
a
of
good
today.
thing.
I mean, that's subject to change by Monday.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, they
As of
want to
right
put
now,
us-
you have weekends off.
they want to put us on 5/12s now, so I'm gonna be late getting in the evenings.
Well, I suppose that they just can't find good help out there. You know, it's just it's kind of a difficult time, I guess.
I think they're trying to run some of the good help that they got off by keeping on changing the schedule around.
That's probably a good way to do that. You know, is that going to be set right now for like an indefinite, or did it give you a timeline on that?
It could be anywhere between now and October of this year, maybe next year.
Oh boy,
Holy
yeah,
cow.
that would get a little bit.
They have
hard.
no idea.
You know, if that was like a month, maybe two, that's tolerable. But you know, beyond that, I remember during COVID, whenever they started to shut everything down. I guess that was what, March of 20? Is that right? March of
19.
19?
No, 20. You're right.
I
20.
think it was 20, right around March 20.
Yeah. So since I own a landscaping company, we stayed going full steam ahead. And what was interesting about that is, since I'm a guy that can't really sit still very well, I just started working 7 days a week. And you know, you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't really spend any money. You couldn't go out to eat. You couldn't have any fun unless it was with your own family or, you know, what have you. So we just worked, and we did that for like 2.5 months straight for 7 days a week, working 10 to 12 during the week, and then 8 to 10 on the weekends. And that got old pretty quick. So, you know,
It don't take long. You'll burn out.
that's for sure.
That was a good thing during all of that, though. I didn't miss any time at all from work. And generally, I don't have to put up with too many people because I sit in a cab with a crane by myself all day long.
That's probably a good thing, you know?
In fact, they ended up sending me to another plant because the operator that they did have caught it. So
boy.
he was out for a couple months. So I went and took his spot.
Did you tell him to sanitize that cab very well?
Yeah, very good.
Fumigate it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How y'all doing in the bee yards today?
Well, you know, it has been a busy time. Last week we got all of our nukes delivered to everybody. Got those all passed out.
How many did y'all have to? Y'all delivered on yourself, or people met basically and picked up?
Well, two separate things. Yeah. We had a meetup on Saturday for all the nukes that got sold through the EMBA, which is our local club. So those got picked up Saturday. And then our nukes that we personally sold, people were picking those up from last Tuesday all the way through
Wednesday.
Sunday. Somebody picked up Sunday.
Wednesday through Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday through Sunday. Yeah.
So it actually worked out pretty well. We offered several different times to pick up in the early morning, late evening. So it was a lot of,
back and forth.
A lot of back and forth, but it was also a lot of just sleeping, 4 or 6 hours a night. So I'm kind of glad that's over.
Oh, yeah. Because Friday night, he had to go load all those. He had a couple of volunteers come out and help, like 5 people come out and help. load 174 nukes onto his trailer and truck, and they didn't get done until about 10:30 that night.
Yeah.
And then we had to get up at 4 o'clock the next morning to go out towards St. Louis to start handing nukes out at 6 a.m. So,
you know, Lee, I couldn't convince any of those guys that were going to help me out. I said, look, I want to get up at 3 a.m., go get the trailer loaded up, get everything strapped down. I said, if you all just help me get this loaded up, I'll secure everything myself. And nobody wanted to get up at 3 a.m. I mean, everybody scoffed at it. And so they decided the night before, and I determined that because it was so cool that night, I didn't have a problem going ahead and loading them up after dark and let them sit for a couple hours on the trailer until we got it out there. So that worked out really well, and everybody was happy.
Well, and then Saturday, not only did we have to do that in the morning, but we had a market that day. So the EMBA pickup was supposed to be from 6 to 8, where the drop-off pickup location is about 35, 40 minutes from our house. So we had a market that day that started at 10. So we had to drive separately out there. I left about a half hour before it ended to come home, load up my market stuff in my car. I still had to bottle some honey too, actually.
Always something.
And then take it to market and be at market from that market was from 10 to 4. It was the longest day ever. And then it started pouring at like 3 o'clock. So then everybody left and everybody's like loading their stuff back up in the rain. It was actually kind of nice though, because it started to get a little bit warm that day. We were really tired and exhausted. We could have fallen asleep, but then that rain was like, you know what? That's good. This is a good thing. We actually sold a decent amount that day though. So it was, it was a busy day. Like we were Sunday, both of us were like, we're not doing anything today.
I told her,
we're going to church and then that's it. But then like 2 people ended up calling him Sunday morning. I need help with my bees. I caught a swarm. I don't know what to do with them. I picked up this nuke and like there's a pile of bees underneath. Like, so he had to go out and like help 2 people with the bees. So he ended up doing bee stuff Sunday.
I just went out and helped somebody, you know.
I took a nap.
As far as like getting up early, you talk about, I'd rather get up early and get it over with before that sun pops up or any of the heat comes. I mean, I know y'all a lot further north than I am, but weather down here, you don't want to wait for the sun if you can help it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been like really insanely humid here lately because especially in the early morning and late at night, because we keep getting these overnight rains or just these little storms and stuff that keep blowing through. And so even when we unloaded the nukes that one morning, I was wringing wet by the time we got done because it was just it wasn't hot. It was just so darn humid. And then it was the same that Friday night when you guys loaded up. It was just so humid. You know, it wasn't hot. It was just so humid.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, our weather down here yesterday, we was hitting 90 degrees, heat index of 100. And I think today we hit 101. And we're not even in summer yet. So I'm going to dread it this year, I believe.
That would be a little bit miserable.
I done told Renee before, if it wasn't for me being a crane operator, I probably wouldn't make it in the plants with all the heat and everything else.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
I got phones going off, computers going off, watches going off.
Well, one of them's me. I just sent you
It's
something.
probably all Tom.
I just sent you a couple of things. Yeah. So anyway, everything did go smoothly last week. It was a very, very busy week, and this week probably hasn't been any better for me. Everybody wants something, right? So do the best you can. So
a lot of people wanting nukes, huh?
yeah, that was so that picture right there is from the EMBA stuff. That's 174 sitting out there. I had mine sitting behind. There's a little barn on another picture. I didn't have my drone out there that day, so the best that I could do was stand on top of the skid steer and get an elevated view. So that's what I did there.
Well, you got to get some little mini cameras, just strap them to the bees, and they'll fly over for you.
There you go.
That's a good idea. They'd have to be pretty doggone small, I suppose, to make that happen. But nonetheless, it was a good week. We don't mind staying busy. Sometimes it's nice to have a little time off. that's the opposite direction. That was early morning. I don't know. That was probably about 7 a.m. or so, 7:30 maybe. And that was kind of looking back the opposite way. We kind of spread some of our own nukes out that way. You can't see all of them, but we put them behind that building and such. But I just thought the picture was kind of cool, you know, with the haze in the air, with all the humidity and such early in the morning.
Now, at least that picture looked pretty good. This one here, it's kind of hard to look at this picture.
Oh, I didn't realize I put that one in there. I thought I just clicked on 2. I look kind of puzzled, like, what's going on here? Where am I? Well, I didn't get much sleep last night, folks. So you know what? Don't judge me here on that one.
Well, if everybody ain't noticed, Ricky's running a little bit late tonight because I don't think he got very much sleep last night either. Which I don't hear my phone once I lay down. My phone goes to silent automatically. Yeah. But I got a text, I think it was like 1 o'clock or something this morning or after. Ricky said, I just seen my phone and realized that you had texted earlier. Let's see. I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning when he said that. He was still out there working on horizontal hives.
Wow. He's pushing hard too.
Philip Morris, I think it's the male performer gig. I'm pretty sure.
Where's Ricky running late from his gig as a male performer, as a party clown? You know, I'm not familiar with either one. I'm not going to ask any questions about that. Okay.
What was that? I missed that one.
Oh, Philip Morris says, "Where's Ricky running late from his gig as a male performer, or is it at a party clown? I forget."
Hey, we do have somebody else down here in the studio, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey Spanky.
How you doing tonight, Spanky?
I'm stopping in to say hey before I head on out.
Where you heading?
We up here in Cherokee.
Ah.
Yeah.
Y'all doing a little vacation or visiting?
I don't know about no vacation. It just seems like a money trap to me.
Most of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, they wanted to come up here, so we come up here for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on my phone, so I can't read the comments.
Well, nobody's throwing any bad comments at you, Spanky, so you're good so far.
Apparently, Ricky's got a second job as a male performer, so.
Yeah.
He's working on them hives. Everybody wants their hive now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I talked to him whenever I was leaving work, and he said he was working on a couple finishing up that he's got to get shipped out tomorrow.
I feel his pain. When everybody wants something, they want it now.
But y'all have a good evening. I'm getting ready to get off here.
All right, y'all have a good one. Thank you.
Have a safe trip, buddy. Yeah, so I didn't look into our hives very much last week. Trying to think, what day did we go into them?
We went into them a couple different days. It wasn't Saturday because we put on the cut comb boxes.
Mm-hmm. We put on some
we went through that massive swarm hive.
Yeah.
That we put the 4 deep boxes on, and we found the queen. Mm-hmm. One queen still, just one queen. She was laying, so it must have even been a virgin queen because there was no other brood in there except for eggs. Yeah. So thank God she came back mated with as many.
At least she's back and she's laying.
I can tell you this: they're building 4. Now again, we run 8 frame equipment, 4 deep boxes of comb for me, and then they had most of that 4 boxes, and I gave them a handful of drawn combs in there to kind of help hold them in place a little bit, you know, they can feel at home, and then just stuck a whole bunch of foundations. Yep. There it is, a bunch of foundations in there, and just let them draw. That's kind of where we found the swarm at, so that's where it's been positioned at for the moment. They seem to be doing good, and we'll let them ride for a while.
So what we did though is we took those 2 top boxes off, put a queen excluder on, put 2 shallow supers with cut comb frames in it on, and then put those 2 top boxes back on. So now it's like 6 boxes tall.
Y'all gonna do those the little squares and like the little clamshell containers, or are you gonna cut them and put them in
No,
jars?
we didn't buy any of those. The what are those called?
Simple cone.
Simple comb. Yeah, we didn't buy any of those simple comb things. I wanted to see how they worked out for everybody else before we.
I've
kinda
heard
jumped on
good
that.
and bad. I've heard some people say they worked good for them. Other ones said they just wouldn't even hardly touch them. And
Well,
I
I've
believe
heard
it depends on your flow. You have to have a super strong flow for 'em,
I've heard they're
in
a
the drop.
headache just to get those into the frames, though. That was really difficult for people, is just getting them into the frames and get them set up.
I know they're kind of finicky. A special size, I say a special size frame. Some frames might be a 1/4 inch longer than other frames, depending on what manufacturer you buy them from. And they tell you when you buy the simple cone what size frame you have to have. If you have anything else, it's not going to work right, or you might have to put some little shims in to hold it in place.
Okay.
But now we're just doing straight cut comb right now. I mean, we have
10 buckets.
10. Yeah, no, we have Ross round stuff to do Ross rounds, but I didn't want to mess with it. I'm like, let's just do the cut comb and see how that works.
I got a Ross round in, I believe it was a couple of months ago. The Texas beekeeper Blaine had sent me one. He won some Ross round stuff. I don't remember if it was the Ross round or the Saracel brand or something like that, but he won off of one of our lives last year. So he got some drawn out and Melbourne won.
Oh, very nice.
So there was a older gentleman, I guess a few years ago, that just had a bunch of stuff. He just wanted to get rid of it. I don't even think we paid him for it. I think he just wanted to get rid of it. And it was a whole, like one of those black totes, like the big one, with the Ross round cassettes and the round things and the things that you put them in, but not the box, right? But the whole system doesn't work unless you have that box. Well, guess what? You can't buy the box by itself. You have to buy the whole
kit,
the whole kit. So they just kind of been sitting in storage forever. And then Saracel came out with those frames that you can put the Ross round cassettes in. So Tom got me some of those, not this last Christmas, or the Christmas before, I think. And we just haven't had time to really try them out. So we'll have to try those out here sometime.
So everybody, we have a special guest on this evening. His name's Ricky Rourke, horizontal bee. Round of applause for people.
They were discussing earlier, Ricky. They think you had a second job.
Yeah, I think might have a second job.
Wait, we want to know which one it is.
Read the comment there.
I'm not sure, but I'm telling you, folks, right now we are so backed up, and I have promised hives that I shouldn't have promised. And Lee can tell you I was up to about 12 o'clock, almost 1 o'clock last night, and got up early to get more hives started, and went to work and came back. So
did you read this comment right here?
Read the comment on your screen.
Oh my goodness. I won't comment on that one.
So Jonathan's asking about our flow right now with all the rain going on.
So Jonathan, it seems like our flow was really strong about, I'm going to say a week, 10 days ago. It was really strong. Like, when it gets to that point where you feel like you can't put frames in a box fast enough kind of flow, that's what it was. And then it kind of tapered off. And then last week, I'm sure you probably seen some of that rain as well. Maybe not everything, but we got I don't remember now. Some of these days are blending together for me, but a couple, 2 or 3 days rain showers last week. And then this week's been pretty heavy too. I think it's washing it out a little bit, to be honest with you. The bees are going out and coming back in. I did notice they were bringing loads of pollen back in here just this last week. I didn't notice too much today because I went through just a few colonies up at our shop to check them out, see if I'd mated queens in there, and all looks well. But they're bringing stuff in. But if you throw out a piece of comb with some nectar in there, what have you, that's always a pretty good indicator. And when I do that, they're actually messing with it. So I think there's probably still a little bit happening, but not a lot.
Right now, I think the blackberries around us just started blooming. We saw those.
I was seeing the
tulip poplar is still blooming. There's a little bit of black locust, not much.
Yeah, it's kind of fizzling off.
You said you saw privet?
Privet is actually opening now. Just about 2 days ago, I've noticed. And then let's see, the multiflora rose. I'm not really familiar with it. I don't know if it produces nectar, but I am certain they're getting pollen off of it. I watched them. So I'm not sure about that. So maybe if somebody in the comment section is familiar with the multiflora rose.
And clover's just now starting.
Yeah, clover started here last week, but I think that with all the rain, it's probably washing out just a little bit. And I don't know how long it takes to recover when you have that much rain. We've had a fair amount, like probably a good few inches.
So I think we're starting a really good flow here. I can tell by the observation hive above my head right here. You can probably see the moisture at the bottom of the hive. Here, I'll pull it up so you can see it. But it is absolutely soaking wet from the nectar inside there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's humid in there.
Yeah. And I actually added an extra event to that observation hive just to help with some of that. And, man, it's with the rain and the nectar going in, they are just pounding moisture in there.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. That lets you know what's going on. You can just see that from your kitchen. So that makes it easy.
Yep. No doubt.
Yeah. So Jonathan, I'm just curious. I see you said you have the multiflora rose in bloom there down in the south. Do you have any privet blooming there? Which I could imagine you would, because I believe Lee said last week he had it blooming, or it was just coming in.
The privet?
Yeah.
Ours has finally died off about a week ago. It all turned brown.
It's amazing that on some of this stuff, how it's blooming out of season. Same thing with some of the trees
really
and such.
Out of order.
Yeah, out of order. Privet's done. Yeah, so it's been kind of this has definitely been a really kind of an odd year. We've had a handful of swarms out of our colonies, and normally we were really good about keeping that under control. This year, I don't know. I want to say maybe 6, 7 that we've caught.
Yeah.
One of them was the really big one. So I'm feeling a little bit behind on that, I guess.
Well, the thing is, those are colonies swarming that we actually split earlier on. That's why it's so strange.
Yeah. Yeah. So that just goes to show you that sometimes you think you're in control and you're really not.
The bees are going to do what the bees are going to do.
That's right.
I know we're supposed to be having some rain, a little bit of rain, I think, come in tonight and a little bit tomorrow. Now, our tallow, the tassels have already came out on it, and they're starting to hang down now. So it's not going to be too long with this rain we got. They should start actually blooming out and opening, and we'll be getting a bunch of nectar in then.
So I understand that tallow tree really produces just a boatload of nectar. Is that right?
As long as we got good rain, yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Last year, we kind of had a drought. Well, we had the late freeze, so that burned a lot of our tallow out. And the ones that didn't get burned out, just the drought that we had, it didn't hardly produce last year. Most beekeepers in the area here, let's see, how was it? They reported basically a 40% of what they would normally get in honey.
Oh, wow.
So it was a pretty rough year.
I would say if you're a person that depends on honey crop for an income, wouldn't have been a good year for you.
I've actually done pretty good on honey sales this year. I got the 2 farmers markets that's buying the honey from me, the 2 little stores by the house, and guy at work the other day, trying to think where he was from. Honduras.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Honduras, but they stay down close to New Orleans areas where they live now. Anyway, he said he has a bunch more Hondurans that live around him, and it's hard for them to find like real honey. He said you can go to Walmart, but you ain't going to get nothing good.
Yeah.
So he seen me with a box at work the other day. He said, I want to buy 2 bottles from you. So, okay, so I sold him 2 bottles. He come back the next day and bought 10 more.
Wow.
And he said he got with all of them that lived around him. He said every week they're going to turn in an order to me now between them and some of them sending it to family members. So hopefully that's another good sale avenue I got.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys, either one of you guys sell any buckets of honey or just everything bottled?
I sell everything bottled.
Yeah.
Even when I sell it to the markets, I mean, I give them a little discounted price because they're buying in bulk, and then they'll just mark it up to what my regular price would be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Makes
Or
sense.
if they want to go higher than that, that's on them.
Yeah.
I did have a customer that wanted honey in gallons. That was
Mhm.
different.
I've
Yeah.
had one person buy 2 gallons from me, and that was a couple of years
that's
ago.
fine.
He was making mead, and that was the only one that bought a gallon from me.
Yeah, we've sold several buckets, the 5-gallon buckets, about 60 pounds, I guess. And usually it's people that are homesteading that buy them that way, or people that just go through an insane amount of honey, like they eat it every day on their granola or yogurt or or whatever.
About
And
to say,
then
that sounds like DC going through a bucket of honey by itself.
and then we had a lady at the market the other day. She bought a gallon from us because she makes like fermented garlic or something, honey
something.
garlic. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good for colds. I do the
Mhm.
honey garlic, and then I do a honey with onion.
Morris Homestead has a very good question. How many holes should I put in a mason jar lid when feeding starter colonies?
That's a good question. I've never
I'll put as many
used.
as I can fit in there.
Bob Benny actually talks about that on one of his videos, and I don't think he puts that many. I want to say like 6. I don't think
That's
he
what I
puts
was-
I'm
all
about
that.
to say a starter colony, I wouldn't think you would want too much because they might not be able to keep up with the flow that's coming out. Even though it creates a vacuum, the hot and cold between morning and night, it will cause it to kind of leak out. So if you have too many holes, it's going to leak down into the colony.
I heard him talk about too before, when you fill up the container, fill it up all the way. That way it creates a better vacuum. So that if you had a temperature differentiation between nightfall and daytime, when it's not full, sometimes it'll allow it to dump a little faster, I guess. This is what I've heard. This is not my experience because I don't really use the jars like that when I'm feeding. So I don't have we have before in the past, but I don't generally.
Yeah, the only time we really use jar feeding is when we have like an observation hive we're taking somewhere that we're going to have them out all day.
I thought Bob Benny on his video, I could be mistaken, but I think he had said he takes a frame nail and that's what he uses for poking the holes. And he puts a lid down on something solid, takes a frame nail and drives it through. I guess looked like somebody said maybe 6 to 8 of them, which seems realistic, especially for a small colony. You don't want them dumping too fast for sure.
Oh, starving, not a starting colony.
Oh, starving colony. Oh. Yeah, I still don't think that I would put a lot of holes because sometimes, well, I guess on that it's not as big a deal.
They're not going to drown themselves.
If it's a quart jar, myself, I would put like 4 or 5 holes on one side of the lid and 4 or 5 on the other. That way the bees can kind of come from both sides instead of all piling up directly in the center.
Yeah.
Now, we was talking about tallow. Ed, son of one, just sent me this. Their tallow is hanging.
Oh, wow.
You can tell it ain't actually bloomed out yet, but it's right on the verge.
So which honey is it? Somebody said it's either tallow or privet. It tastes better as it mellows out.
I've heard the privet does that.
Oh,
but
privet.
It's never lasted that long around here.
I think on Grayson's live chat the other day, Bob Benny was saying that it's about the only honey that actually gets a little bit better over time.
Let's see, Bob Benny, that was on Tim and Hannah's live.
Oh, Tim and Hannah's, that's right. That's my bad.
Yeah, I believe it was the privet. He said that, but Renee, she's always liked the privet. She finds that it's real sweet, and she likes the light colored honey compared to dark. I prefer the dark honey. Now, the honey that I pulled a couple of weeks ago, I believe it still had some of the goldenrod that I overwintered on. Let me grab it here. I don't break everything.
Ricky, were you able to get some of your stuff completed or to a point that you're good?
Yeah, I think this is probably going to get us over the hump of the biggest rush that we've got.
That's good. Glad to hear that.
I just promised too much from the conference, and then I had taken a bunch of orders, and then I was really bad about not writing stuff down. And next thing you know, I'm behind, and It's not fun. Because I'm the kind of person that if I give my word I'm gonna get something done. I mean, I had 2 hours of sleep last night because I'm gonna get something done. I'm not gonna leave somebody hanging, especially right now because everybody wants their beehives.
Yeah, for sure.
The honey that I pulled a couple of weeks ago, like I said, I believe it still had some of the goldenrod left over in it, but you could definitely taste the privet in it and blackberry. But it was kind of almost like a reddish color there. It wasn't real light like our privet normally is. Our privet is normally almost like water, just clear.
That looks a little bit kind of like poplar tulip.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. I think that I really like that label. That label is a good looking label for sure.
I like the design of the label, but I just find I get these done through Better Bee. I design the label and I just have them print them.
Yeah.
But if you rub on them just for a little bit or whatever, they're not real durable. They will wear off.
Interesting.
So I would like to find something to where they like print on the back of the label. Since it's clear, that way it would be more durable and you could rub the front all you want.
Yeah, that makes sense. We've got that too. I liked the clear label. I thought it was a little bit more, I don't know, I want to say professional looking or more, I'm not sure the word I'm looking for.
I don't have another bottle here. I've got 2 different clear labels. I got one that's white lettered like that, and then I have one that's black letter. That way, if I have a real light colored honey, if you put the white on a light colored honey, you're not hardly going to be able to see it. So I'll put the black labels on them.
Makes sense.
And then vice versa, my fall honey, if it's real dark, you're not going to see anything with a black label. So I put the white ones on.
Yeah. Yeah, you should enter that label into like a honey show. Sometimes they do like a label, you can get like a category for labels and stuff.
I got too many wires here. That's what I was knocking off a minute ago. A brand new phone I just had to buy the other day because I knocked one off and broke it.
Uh-oh.
So Lee, where do you get your honey jars at? And Tom, where do you get yours from?
I get all of mine from a Gamber container. It's just
those glass.
Standard. No, they're plastic squeeze. I used to get all my glass from Better Bee, just a 1 pound tall round jar they call it. But I had kind of half and half. Half people would buy the glass, half of them would buy plastic. I generally found the older people like the glass to start with, because I mean it's just, I guess, old school. But after a while, they got to where, hey, I don't want to have to dip down in that jar with a spoon or anything like that. So they started getting a squeeze, and I just went to all squeeze bottles rather than having 2 different containers.
Yeah, the squeeze bottles are really convenient, but I don't know. I think glass stores better. I'm a fan of the same thing. I'm kind of that, 80s generation where you used to drink soda out of a glass bottle, and this is going to sound really, really silly, but I just feel like soda tastes better out of glass than it does plastic. I'm sure it's probably completely in my head, but that's what I always liked that, But we get our bottles from our local store, Isabee's. We try to buy a lot from her. I will say this: the Muth 1 pound glass, we bought a bunch of them from Miller Bee Supply whenever we had gone to the North American Honeybee Expo, and they had a solid deal on them. They're kind of expensive, so it's but generally we buy it from our local place. So.
I prefer the glass. I mean, myself here at the house, but like I said, most of the customers, they got to where they were going with plastic. So rather than having 2 different ones, and really, if you look at the cost difference, it was cheaper to go with plastic too.
Yeah. We usually charge a little bit more for our glass, and basically all you're paying for is the additional cost with the glass itself. Unfortunately, it is more expensive, but
yeah. And I don't think, to a point, it's not a whole lot more for the glass as far as buying it. It's that shipping, if you're having on ship, because you got a lot more weight with shipping glass versus plastic.
Yeah, on the 1 pound squeeze that we get, those come in a box of 300. So we just buy, I don't know if you call that a case or what have you, but that's the way we usually buy them, a few hundred at a time. Yeah. When we start getting low, just go buy another few hundred.
That's what I do. I get them through Gamber Container, and I think it's 321 in a
Okay.
box. And then when I order the lids, I order a package of 1,700 lids. It's either you buy individual or whatever, or you buy a case of 1,700 and you get it cheaper. So I can buy one case of lids, and then I can buy multiple cases of the bottles before I need more lids.
Yeah. We try to do the same thing too. When we buy, we're going to buy in bulk because you can always save money when you're doing that. So, when you're looking at the cost of what with your glassware or your squeeze bottles or what it is that you're buying, it's always best to try to buy in bulk if you can.
If you get Melissa, let you use a little bit of that money, right, Tom?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. She's in the kitchen eating right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
Shouldn't leave that picture of the frames.
Yeah, last time when I bought the plastic bottles for a case of 321, it was $118 for a case. And then like $49 for shipping here.
Yeah. Now, where is that company at that you order those in from?
It's in Pennsylvania. I wanted to say Lancaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But basically, you can go to gambercontainer.com and look through their website, see what you want. But you really have to call them to make the order. You don't do the order online. So you call them, tell them what you want. They'll send that to their sales rep, and then they email you an invoice or really an estimate and tell you what it's going to cost for the item plus shipping and all that. And then you call them back and say, yeah, I approve that, and then give them your card number.
Mm-hmm.
But that's who some of the other suppliers, like Better Be, I think Man Lake, they buy a lot through Gamber Container. So
Oh,
basically,
really?
you just cutting out that middleman.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that company, so I've never shopped with them.
I learned about them, I think, through Sawmill Charlie.
Okay. Yeah, as long as the local lady that we use is even close, I usually go ahead and just shop with her. Yeah, we just got in. I was literally almost out of frames, and I just got another 500 frames in the other day. The gentleman Daniel from Golden Bee, who he's just a swell guy, ran him up to me from the other side of the state. It was on Sunday. He just got back in from Germany, and his wife was picking him up from the St. Louis airport, so it worked out. He says, I'll have her load them all in the van, and brought them up and dropped them off. So
hard to beat that deal.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yep, I didn't have to drive to go get them, which I wouldn't have had time to anyway. So we just need to get all of our 5-frame nukes that we've set up. And basically,
I don't either.
too much work. Yeah. No, I didn't build them, so that was easy for me. I just had to buy them, and I got a solid deal on them. So, they're good frames. They work out well. The bees love them. They draw on them, no problem. Wax is heavy. We just have to get all of our 5-frame nukes that are mostly they have a second story on them, so 10-frame. Get those into solid our 8-frame boxes, but I don't have enough at the moment, so we got to order that probably coming here in a day or two.
Fun times.
Mm-hmm. It's that time of year, where everything is just going absolutely crazy.
That's what's getting me with them changing our schedule at work, because I was able to get home and have a little extra time to do stuff in the evening before it started getting dark. Now I'm going to get home and have just a little bit of time before it gets dark.
Yeah. Well, but at least, like you said, at least you'll have your weekends. So although during the week, it'll be a little hectic for you, you will have a little bit of time, hopefully, there on the weekend to be able to do some manipulations on the colonies.
Hopefully I get something done and don't have no swarming issues. But I went out there last weekend. I mean, the bees are still building up pretty good. And then I guess you would call it a kind of a minor dearth in between our privet and the tallow. Now, they still getting a little nectar from something here or there, but it gets to the point where they're not foraging as much for a couple week period in between. So they'll start just sitting in the hive. And if they just sitting there, they're all full, they're getting crowded. So you take a chance of swarm cells. So I put on some empty supers. I under supered basically, pulled up the old supers, put some under it, and give them just a little extra room so they don't feel quite as crowded.
Yeah. Now you've already extracted a little bit of honey, right?
I've pulled 400 so far. I believe that was 8 supers, 10 supers. I don't lost count.
Mm-hmm.
A little over 6 buckets worth.
Yeah. And then, so do you do that just because you don't have the extra supers, or you're trying to spread out your workload?
Trying to spread it out a little bit. I had some more supers. I did order another 100 frames, which is what I waxed in here the other day. And I can get them put on too. But I was trying to get some honey off that I overwintered them with. Some of them, they overwintered with 3 and 4 supers on the hive still. I just didn't have time to get out there and pull them. So I was getting some of that off, but they did burn through some of that in the winter and then early spring build up.
Yeah.
But then with what they put back in, I pulled 400.
So with that many supers left on throughout the winter, had they moved all the way up inside the box, or just moved up to the next frames?
They were still kind of scattered all in. I don't open them during the winter, which we don't get no hard winter here, so it wouldn't hurt them. But
yeah.
the time I go out there, if I pull the top box or tilt it over and look in the bottom box, there's going to be bees pretty much throughout the hive.
Yeah.
I got one out there now. It's got a deep, I run all 10 frame. So it's got a deep brood box, and then I have 5 supers on top of that.
Oh, okay.
And they got bees from top to bottom in it now.
Yeah. Now, so do you generally run all of your colonies as a single brood management?
I say single brood management. I use a single deep, but I don't run the queen excluders on them.
Okay.
So, I mean, if the queen does move up and lay a little bit in the super, I don't have much of a problem with it. If I go out there to pull supers and I find some brood in one, I'll just leave that one on the hive until they hatch out and backfill it with nectar.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Now, next year, I'm almost thinking about going back to trying some queen excluders. I don't know if I'm going to do it on all of them. I may do it on just a couple hives to test it out. Because I really hadn't run queen excluders since the first year whenever I started trying bees. And then you don't have drawn comb and all that when you're first starting out. So the bees don't want to go through that excluder to go to an empty box.
No.
So I removed some of the excluders, let them come up in the box, start drawing, and then I'd throw the excluder back on. And they worked on some, but just me thinking about it, I said, nah, I'm going to pull them out. And after that, the only thing I've run excluders on was my comb honey.
Okay. Yeah. I just did that this evening on a swarm that we had that I had, it got through a double 8 frame deep box, and the top box was nothing but all foundation. So they drew all that out. So I went ahead and threw a super on them tonight, and it did have drawn comb in it, but I put a queen excluder, but I put it on top of my inner cover. So that way it's at least on the hive whenever I need it. So I'll let them come up in there over the next day or two. And when I see that they're up in there, I'll just do a quick check and make sure she's not up there. And then I'll go ahead and put that queen excluder on. Once they've already started to work that super, then at least I know that I'll have they'll start viewing that as their space. That way they're not being kept down, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll try some excluders again next year on a couple of hives since I've got all the drawn comb now. And if everything goes good, I might go back to using excluders. That way I don't have to worry about the wax moth issue quite as bad with storing my supers in the winter.
See, that's my only thought. Why I really don't want them laying any brood up there in my supers. That way, I feel like
time management too.
It's a little bit, I get a little more concerned about having that wax damage in there potentially. Now, even though we still use that Certain BT, or what's it called? BT. Certain. It's kind of expensive for what it is, but
it does the job.
Yeah, we've never had any issues with it. Most of our super comb has not had any brood in it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, DC, I'll try not to, and I'll be honest with you. If I get a chance to go to Washington, I'm gonna come up and see you. Now, my cousin does live up there, but I just don't know how I can fit one of those on the plane. So we can figure that out. I'm gonna come up and see you for sure.
You sound like a road trip.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, oh,
That's a long road
I'd have
trip.
to catch Melissa and Thomas. I went by to help out on the way up. So
Come on over.
Do
Get
you
the
like the
bus
truckers
today.
just take turns driving, huh?
yeah. So something that you guys might not know, and I'm going to post a video coming up. I actually got to visit Keith Spillman in North Carolina here, and he's got a nice operation, and he's got honey everywhere down there. So he was trying to dry some honey out while I was there. But I mean, even on the chat here, he's just talking about that they're already filling the supers up, and he's like Lee. He's got boxes stacked up over your head. So I like his setup. He's going all 8-frame mediums, which I like that. That way, he's got all the same boxes, and I like the 8-frame because I really feel like the size is good for the bees and good for the beekeeper. So, but I was very impressed with his setup, and I got a little video to throw out there maybe here in the next couple of days. If I can get time, DC, I will post that video so everybody can see it. But yeah, I'm hoping after this little rush, I can relax a little bit. So
That'd be good.
yeah,
I guess when stuff comes on strong, it comes on really strong, much like the bees themselves, right?
yeah, exactly. And it's like I should be putting supers on everything right now, and done it yet. So that may be some of the reasons why we've been getting a few swarms here lately, because the boxes are starting to really pack up.
Just go out there, pop the tops on them. You see bees in there, throw a super or two on them, close it back up. At least there you might be able to buy yourself a little time, you know?
Yep. So Rue's supposed to be taking me to Mexico in June, so maybe I get a little break about that time also.
That'll be nice.
Yeah. And I tell you what, now Keith has a awesome wife. So she doesn't really care to do anything with the bees, but she knows about as much as he does about the bees. And she told us when we got there, she says, you know, Keith, he talks a lot about beekeeping, and he's a lot like Tom. He likes to talk, and I think she talked more than he did. But she was awesome. I mean, she was a great lady. He's blessed to have her.
Yeah. See, Melissa says the same thing about me, that I talk too much, but usually it's her talking.
See?
Don't you guys agree with me there? Right? Yeah. Just nod your head, okay? Don't have to say anything. She's not looking. Just not wrong way, Lee. You have to go up and down. So I guess that means, Ricky, you have not been in any of your colonies in what, a week or two, or?
Yeah, since I checked the splits out, I haven't been back in them. And what was that? Oh, gloves.
Got some new gloves from. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
Ricky,
thought they were sold out. How'd you do that?
you know who those are for? Renee.
Oh,
She has volunteered to help me move some bees from another yard back to the home yard.
very nice.
So I had to get some to fit her. My other larges, they done got all tore up over the last couple of years. So
Yep, you better get her protected then. Otherwise, if she gets lit up, she's not going to help you again.
yeah, somewhere back there on the shelf, right about there, I got a box with EpiPens in it. So told her we'll bring them with us.
There you go.
Because she ain't 100% sure if she's allergic or not. She's never wanted to find out.
Yeah.
But she knew I needed help moving on, so she said she'd volunteer to go help me.
Awesome.
I told her, well, you know I'm going to have the camera out there, huh? She said, well, I'll be holding the camera because I'm not going to be on it. I said, oh, yeah. I said, you'll have a veil on. Ain't nobody going to see you.
So is she at least going to come to the Slidell
Be alive.
conference, Be Alive conference?
That I'm not sure yet.
Will you get her to come to that?
She's like me. She works all the time. If she ain't working, she goes stir crazy.
Yeah.
She has to keep busy doing something.
Well, she can come down and visit one day, but I'll go out to dinner.
Now,
There you
I
go.
know next year she says she may go. Well, she comes with me to the conference up north every year, Hive Alive, and then Nobby and everything now. But she's
Yeah.
never went into it. She says she just wasn't interested. But she said next year she might actually come in with me.
Oh, good. That'd be fun.
That's awesome.
I'm curious on here how many people bought their tickets to Nabi already.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. Anybody in
Yes.
the chat, you bought your tickets? Speak up. I want to know. That'd be cool.
So we didn't buy our tickets yet, but I reserved our hotel because I went on there to check out hotels, and a lot of them, I think because it's that New Year's week, there were several hotels that had limited availability. So I'm like, I'm at least reserving our hotel now.
That or it was just a marketing ploy.
The dates are killing me.
Mhm.
I mean, we're not New Year's Eve people though, so it's
No.
like New Year's is irrelevant to us. Like I could care less. So we actually will be going down on New Year's Day, Wednesday, and then coming back on Sunday. We drive.
Yeah, it's not a far drive for us.
What was it? 6 hours?
Oh no.
No.
No, like
Oh wait, that was
4.
yeah. That
I can't remember.
something else.
It's not that far. Yeah, so
we got,
time.
we got Brian Lee in the comments.
Oh, yeah, he's
Is he still
Well-
up in Alaska, or is he back home?
I don't know.
If you went to the site and looked at the tickets, they're offering one single day tickets this year.
Yeah.
So you can, if you can't go all 3 days or whatever, they're offering single day tickets.
Miss Ruth says, hey,
Yeah.
Melissa, we rent a residence together. Well, you know what? We already reserved a hotel, but maybe we could get out of it if we could find us a house to stay in. I'm all game for that.
Maybe we just get the room right next to you guys.
There you go.
Or that. Hey, don't be trying to bang on the wall or nothing at night. I like to go to bed early and get a good night's sleep. You know.
Hey, we're going to have a room full of kids, so it's going to be loud. I'm sorry.
Well, never mind. You can get the room at the other end of the hall.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Just put Lee's room next to you. He doesn't mind getting woke up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we put Lee right in the middle of us.
Right in the middle, huh?
I was right across the wall from Charlie this last year when we went up there. He was next door to us. So I think we ended up at Cracker Barrel every night with him.
Yep, we sure did.
We're gonna spend all kinds of time with JW.
Oh boy.
Jonathan
Mhm.
Bennett. Yes, we are going to the MSBA event in Warrensburg.
Yeah. We told Kyle that we would help out there. So I think we're going to moderate one of the rooms, I think, or something like that. So we want to volunteer a little time, but also, listen to see what everybody's got going on too. So yes, we will be there.
We are staying at the Fairfield Inn right there around the convention center. That's where we stayed last year. It was quiet. It was nice. It was clean. It was inexpensive.
Unless Ricky rents a mansion for us all to stay in, right, Lee? Huh? Wink, wink.
I don't
We
know.
can do that.
I enjoyed staying at the Hilton last year because it was right on the north side of the
I
convention.
think the Hilton was
complex.
like just catty corner from the hotel that we stayed at.
It was.
And the Hilton and the Fairfield Inn didn't have any middle of the night wake up calls either.
Yeah.
Nope. No fire drills.
No.
No
Quiet.
fire drills.
And I had a shuttle straight from the front door to the convention every morning. And in the evening, I'd call them. They'd come back and pick me up.
Yeah. We just drove in and drove out every day. Melissa ordered too much stuff, Lee.
Now, Miss Ruth, it wasn't the hotel that I stayed at. It was the one on the south end. What was that? The Crown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it
it
was
was the
the
Crown
Crown.
had the alarm.
Mm.
Yep. No,
That's
thank
all that
you.
partying Lee was doing out down there at that hotel.
I think that's what it
Oh,
was. Nobody said, but I think that's what it was,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that was Dirt Rooster and all of them partying over there at the Crown.
May have been a whole bunch of them partying down there, You never know.
Well, I mean, you had Mr. Ed and all of them over there, so
Yep.
They had the lights, strobe lights going and everything.
It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have to get a couple of do a couple dinners or whatever, and get a whole big group of people.
3
Maybe-
fire alarms. Goodness gracious.
Hey, Ricky, what do you think? Just renting out an entire restaurant. What do you think about that?
Well, I think we could probably do that. We about had that the last time. At
You had
that,
one full
place.
room.
Yeah.
Sure did.
I bet you. I bet if you got enough people to say, "Hey, yeah, we're going to go," I bet you they would probably, and you could give them just a little bit of heads up. They'd probably close that thing down and let all of us come in there. You know,
Brian Lee,
Yep.
where are you going to dinner? What are you bringing us back?
Yeah.
Brian Lee's heading to dinner with his wife.
oh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah. He's in Alaska. Yeah, it's got to be like Alaskan crabs or,
Hey.
something good from up there.
I'm in. Count me in.
That.
100%.
Hives for Heroes took over Mission Barbecue. Yep, I saw videos about that. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we had dinner that evening with the St. Louis folks when that was going on.
I think so.
The Hives for Heroes. That was we were going to go to the Hives for Heroes dinner if we hadn't already made this plan there. So
Well, we did Ricky's dinner, and then we did Matthew. I can never say his last name. Comfort
Booth?
Pro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Comfort Pro guy Matthew.
Yeah.
I can't say his last name. He did Beaks and Brews or
Mhm.
Brews and Beaks or something evening
Yeah.
where you could taste like everybody bought different meads and you could taste meads and stuff like that. That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, he invited
He had,
us over.
he had quite a few people at that actually.
It was pretty full. We decided to help him set up. I said, hey, happy to lend a hand to get things going. Enjoy the night.
Look like Brian Lee's going to the restaurant, I guess, on the ship. He's
Ooh.
going seafood.
Yeah. Looks like.
Oh.
Hey, maybe we can get a restaurant on the water. That'd be great. So,
Yeah.
hey, Bruce, are you headed to the Nobby? Storm said you guys heading to the Nobby again. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what we're talking about.
Jan's saying, are we going to eat dinner again? No, she said she enjoyed meeting everybody at the restaurant with her. And we hope to do that again. So we're definitely going to hopefully have a big group come out and eat with us, and we'll see how that goes.
I think that.
Did you do that Wednesday night or did you do that Thursday night last year? I can't remember.
I believe it was Wednesday night.
It was
Before everything started.
Because
yeah.
me and Renee got up there Tuesday, so Wednesday, I believe, is when we went and ate with Ricky.
Okay.
And then Miss Jan there, and Mr. Larry.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jen and Larry was awesome. Actually, everybody that came, that whole group from Michigan was really cool that came down and was with us.
Oh, Steve says it was Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so does Dawson.
Now, there's one that has their tickets already in the hotel.
Oh, yeah, Charlie.
Oh,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie's ahead of me. Last year, I booked my
Yeah,
hotel in March. I hadn't called this year yet. I need to.
Well, the tickets are on sale super early this year. Usually he doesn't have them released until like July. So
I'm guessing since he already has the location nailed down, that probably solves a lot of logistical issues that you might potentially have. Having that location, nailed in, then everything else can kind of fall into place pretty easy.
what's the official countdown, Lee? I know you got it.
Yeah, there we go.
If it's on the correct date that he said, 237 days.
There it is.
Oh.
Now,
So
if it's on the second, like he told us.
So does anybody want to come on the chat tonight? We'll throw the link out there tonight. Let anybody come on that wants to talk.
Throw that out.
Mm-hmm.
We're boring. We need someone else to
That's right.
jazz it up.
Torment. Yeah, we got to have somebody to torment tonight.
There you go.
If you can pin that comment there, Ricky.
I'll have to get in there. Give me just a second.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. The location wasn't finalized until mid-June last year. Yeah, it seems like.
But even I think with Hive Life, it didn't seem like tickets went on sale until like June or July.
Yeah, it was still kind of growing and evolving. So I'm sure that that
it didn't seem like tickets went on sale until like.
Sorry.
I didn't know where that was coming from.
Sorry.
and that
Trying to pin that. I'm always a troublemaker.
Stream fail.
Yeah.
Hey there, William.
Yeah. Hey, William, how's it going? Got Texas?
I got to grab something here since William's in.
So what are you guys' plans this week with your bees? I think
I don't know what I'm going to do. It's supposed to get kind of chilly, and I hear people like southeastern Colorado Hives was asking, we're going to get some cold weather. We're supposed to get to 58 on Saturday for the high. So that's going to be kind of chilly to messing the bees right now.
58 for you guys?
58 for the high, yeah.
Just let's see, what are we this week coming up?
As long as it's not, if it's 58 and sunny, that'll feel good. 58, not sunny and windy, I wouldn't feel so good.
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be partly cloudy and it's going to be windy. So it's, going to be a little rough.
I think right now I'd take 58 and sunny over what Lee's having there at high 80s or 90. And then
Hey, we got a cold front coming in Sunday. It's only going to be 80 degrees here.
oh my gosh.
Oh.
We're going to be in the 70s, mostly mid to upper 70s for the next week.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm still at 84, heat index 92. And it's
It is too early in the year for it to be 92.
8 o'clock at night here, and it's still that warm.
Well, listen,
Yuck.
I just want to let you know, Lee, don't you dare let that weather loose and let it come running up here.
I'm going to turn all of our fans straight that way.
No, don't do that. Do not do that.
Yeah, William, that little comment there. We got something to put our gear in.
That's a dry bag, isn't it?
It's a
Just a bag.
big climbing tote bag.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was something that Renee was going to put over Lee's head.
She probably wanted to after she seen it.
Well, that bag looks like it's like a dry bag type material, that you might use in a float trip. You just roll them over.
Well, the top will roll over. It's not waterproof. It's water resistant, so it just don't get rain in it. But the sides are real durable, so you could pull it up the side of a rock cliff and it won't tear through it.
I gotcha.
With holding about 200 pounds of stuff in it.
Yeah. Now, does Renee climb with you as well or not?
Nope.
Yeah.
She actually done the zip line last year. It's like 3/4 of a mile zip line, 60 miles an hour. She done that, but she won't climb the rock.
Hey, there's reason for that. There's definite reason. I would do the zip line too. No problem. Not doing a rock face though.
Well, you think about it, the zip line's even higher because you start off from the top of the cliff, like above where you finish climbing.
The only difference is once you start, there's no option, right? You're going. But with climbing though, you manually have to do that.
Sounds like I was wondering if she stood at the bottom with like a trampoline or like a tarp, to catch him when he fall, catch him when he falls.
Got a little rope about the size of my pinky that'll catch you.
Nope.
Hopefully that rope was not made by the cheapest bidder, right?
No.
Yeah.
That's what I told Renee. It comes to stuff that's holding my life. I ain't going discounting cheap.
I wouldn't either. I'd buy the top name brand equipment when it comes to that.
That's pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
You didn't get it from Amazon, Lee?
Oh no. No, I ain't trusting that.
Temu. You got him from Temu.
Oh yeah.
Wish.
Amazon equals China. Maybe not all products.
Now we got Brad with Cajun Homestead here, and just to let everybody know, today is his birthday.
Why is on her side?
Oh, birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And he's on live stream with us on his birthday. That says a lot, right?
Yeah.
You should actually come on the live stream.
There you go.
Yeah, just come back on tonight.
The link is right up there at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Just click it.
Oh, look at that.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm. I like
Very
it.
fancy.
No singing.
Trust me,
We'll leave
Steve, there
that to
won't be
Ricky.
in here. Yeah.
Can't make promises.
We're all singing in our heads.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to get back in the bee boxes here. maybe sometime after this weekend. We got a pretty busy.
We're supposed to do a removal on Saturday,
Yeah.
and then we have 2 removals that we've had to postpone because of weather.
Mm-hmm.
Because this rain is just, and then it messes up his work schedule, and it's like, oh my gosh. So we have one that's scheduled for Saturday that we have to get done, and another one that has to get done right away, but I don't know when.
Probably next week.
I don't know when.
Well, my boys will be out of school next week, so that will help things out a little bit. They can come out and work every single
When
day.
is the Slidell conference? I believe it is the last weekend in September.
Yeah.
Steve Amos.
Yeah, let's see. Let's look that up. It is the 27th and 28th. That's a Friday and Saturday of September.
It's called Be Alive.
Be Alive.
So who all is going to be down there speaking? I can't remember exactly. Again,
Oh, I don't remember that now.
I'll pull
Give me just a second. I'm bringing that up. Bring that to another screen.
I feel like it was Bob Benny.
that's
I
right.
remember
I think
correctly.
right.
It's going to
And
be Friday, September 27th and Saturday, the 28th.
yeah, there
Yeah.
we go.
Got
Mr. Earl Hoffman is speaking at our club here next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anybody
wow.
wants to come to our club meeting next Tuesday? Got Seth
David.
Burns.
Now, Jeff Brown, the guy right here, that's the one that owns B Commander, and he's the one that puts on the conference.
Mm-hmm. Sue Kobe and Julia.
See,
Wow,
Michael Palmer is coming too, but I don't know if he's actually coming live or if that's going to be a Zoom thing.
Looks to me like they got some great speakers. My goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be a good time. We really enjoyed ourselves last year. It was a great conference. I think they did a really good job on putting it on, and I think that anybody who had some time and wanted to go down to it, I don't think they would be disappointed.
One person you wouldn't walk across the road to see. Is it Tom? I'm just, you know.
Well, I tell you, I don't know if I'm going to bring any hives in there. I think I just want to go down and enjoy a conference and just I can go do what I want to and not be tied down.
There you go.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah. That way I can, have a big group to go out to eat and have a good time.
Yeah, I think as long as we get a bunch of us down there, it'll be a good time regardless of who's speaking, right?
Yep, that's right.
It'd be like a little mini meetup before, kind of like the hat.
Did Tom just freeze?
I think they just froze. I don't hear him.
We're back.
We're back.
Oh, that was quick.
Melissa was playing on the phone using up all the Wi-Fi.
I think so. She was.
She paused it and smacked Tom and then unpaused it.
Oh, that's what it was.
Like talking so much. Can you just zip it? No, I
She's
don't
a
know what you were
firecracker.
saying, but I was going to tell Steve Amos, if there's that one guy you don't want to see because you wouldn't walk across the street to see him, that's when you go out into the vendor area and go talk with all the vendors.
There you go.
Now, I
Come on.
did drop a link in the comments for that Be Alive conference if anybody wants to check that out.
How many are they
know.
saying is going to be there? Have you heard anything yet, Lee?
That I hadn't heard any yet.
How many do you think was there last year? Like 100 people, 150 people maybe?
I'd say maybe 150,
That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking too.
which that was his first year. Now, I
Yeah.
believe he was trying to start it in 2020, but that's
Yes.
when all the COVID stuff hit. So it got pushed back.
I heard the same thing. Yep.
But for it being his first year, I think it was a decent little turnout, and
Sure.
it had some good vendors there and good speakers.
Yeah, it was good.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't think anybody would be disappointed with the outcome. I mean, if it was anything like last year, I think it was a great, small, little quaint place. Easy to
It's
get
like
in
a
and out.
community center or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a community rec center, it looks like, I guess.
Pretty much. It was Oh, what was it? The Harbor Center, they called it?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Lee, you'll have to get us to some good, tasty restaurants around the area. I know that's not specifically yours, but yep.
The Harbor Center in Slidell, Louisiana.
Yeah. That was a nice place.
Does not serve a lunch, so you have to go out and get your own lunch.
That's okay.
They got a lot of good food right
Heads
around the
up.
area, though.
Just a heads up.
We went down the road. Oh, it was just
There was a catfish place. It served like
Yeah.
fish or
it
something.
was,
Catfish.
it was that restaurant down there at the what's that highway that intersects down there at the end of the I'm not familiar with that area whatsoever. The main highway that you get off of, and you only have to go a few blocks to get to the Harbor Center. There was a restaurant there at the corner. I can't remember what it was, but they had some pretty good food. It was good. I had the catfish, I think it was.
And Melissa's like, man, it was okay.
Now, lunchtime, let's see, I can't remember the first day or the second day. Anyway, Mr. Ed had called and texted me. Anyway, it ended up being Mr. Ed, Mike Berry, Good Time Charlie, another guy, I think he was from Mississippi, and then me. We all went and ate a little seafood restaurant there.
Well, you'll have to share the secret restaurants with us, the good spots, you know?
I can't remember the name of it, but I know how to get there when I'm there.
That's good enough. We'll figure it out. That's good enough.
I'm trying to catch up on comments now.
Yeah. I think we're good so far.
Yeah, Brad, they did have some vendors and all there too last year.
They had, let's see, Bee Light was there. They do like candle molds and stuff like that. Symbolcom was there.
Yeah.
I got a list.
Microbials was there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a list for this year. The Bee Commander, which is the one that puts the conference on.
Mm-hmm.
The Bee Supply. Does anybody know what this symbol here is?
Never seen that before.
Never
in my
seen it
life.
before.
I don't know what that is.
Just pass along. Keep moving.
Randy Dirt Rooster. Got a couple vendors there. Now it's only showing 6, but that's kind of how it showed last year too. It wasn't very many showing, but it was a full room of vendors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lee, how many would you say were in there? 20?
No,
That's-
it wasn't funny.
At least 15, right?
I'm trying to.
I'd say 15 to 20, somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
Because they
too.
were all the way down one wall. When you walked into the vendor hall, they were all the way down that wall on the right, and then
Yeah.
they were just kind of scattered out all in the middle there.
Yeah. And then they also had like a small, like a miniature honey show that was going on there. I'm guessing they might do that again, which was kind of fun. So if anybody's going, take some honey and enter their little honey show.
Yeah, it was just black jar though,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for taste only.
judged by the audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you had to pay $1 per entry.
Now, if I go to menu, it is showing honey show, but then it's saying details coming soon.
Okay.
Last year they just did like a little black jar, and you had to like, whoever wanted to vote on it, you had to buy tickets to vote, and then the money went.
It's like a 50-50.
Yeah, I think so. Like whoever won, it was like a 50-50 or
Yeah,
something
I think
like
so.
that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How many times can you vote for your own jar?
Well, it's all in a black jar, and they give you don't know if it's yours, right? They give you a number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, Whiskey Trail.
Yeah, Whiskey Trail Bees, they were there as well. Yeah,
But it was a good time.
definitely was. Yeah.
So has anybody heard the numbers on the Navi totals yet? Has anybody said anything? How many have they already gotten to register?
I don't think he's posted anything yet.
Mm-mm.
Hey, I just got a little surprise here. I made the website too, and so did Paul with Hell Hives.
Oh,
Look at that.
Look at that.
fancy.
Yeah,
You're famous now.
I know.
His site might crash now. You might want to take that down. And it ain't because of the people going to see it.
Oh, that's a good question, Brian.
No doubt. Very good
Next
question.
good club meeting. Well, I would say, first of all, appropriate topics, per the time of year that you may be in. Or actually what I would say is maybe slightly ahead of what's getting ready to happen, discuss what's going to happen in the club meeting
about a month before it happens.
About a month before it's going to happen. I think having somebody that is good at presenting on whatever the topic of that choice would be, that's really important. And also I think having different speakers, I don't think anybody wants to watch or listen to the same person, so having different, and even, something to spice it up a little bit that we have done in our own is we have food and usually bottled water there. At least we've done pizza a couple of times. We did sub sandwiches one time, bottled water, things like that. That's always a nice treat for people if you have a budget to do that.
So our club meetings start at 6:30 and they end at 9. From 6:30 to 7 is like social half hour where there's pizza, there's water, everybody's walking around. We have shirts for sale. It's it's a good time for everybody. Yeah. We're getting ready to have these fancy schmancy cups for sale.
Ooh. What's the price on them?
These cups will be $20.
Oh.
Yeah, these fancy. Comes with a straw. Anyway,
do we get a friend discount?
Friend.
Absolutely. I'll send you one.
But we'll also have these cups for sale. Where they call these like a 4-in-1 cup, where it's like a cup like this, and the lid comes off, right? But then you can like pour, put your can of soda or adult beverage if you'd like in there, like the whole can, and then I guess you put this thing on it and it keeps it in there. You drink out of there, or you can just leave this on there, and then you can put a bottle of your choice of beverage in there. So those are kind of cool. They're going to be $20 also.
I think that's great advice, Keith. It says talk about issues, concerns, success, and failures, right?
Yep.
So
we want to discuss the failures too.
So before I got off topic, was showing you guys the cups. So we start 6:30 to 7 is social. A lot of people buying stuff, whatnot. $24. And then usually from like 7 to 7:30ish, we'll talk about like club business, this month in beekeeping, what to expect, things like that. Occasionally we'll do a door prize. And then from 7:30 to usually like 8:30-ish, a main speaker will speak and do their presentation. We try to end it there so people have time for questions and stuff afterwards and hanging out.
We usually get a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, I like what Steve says. No complaining.
That's right.
Yeah. Just talk about the bees. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Definitely a good thing not to have drama. You don't want to deal with any of that. No. And honestly, we've never had to deal with that ourselves. Everything is very, it's good.
When they let Tom speak, I'm usually like, come on, you need to deal.
You just need your cattle prod, Just...
I know. I'm gonna give them some type of zapper that I can like. You're done. Move on.
She's just jealous.
But when you get on such a good topic, it's hard to stop talking about it, ain't it, Tom?
Well,
hey, you said it best.
The thing is that somebody, if y'all haven't noticed, somebody likes to over-explain things.
It's my personality.
And so then that's
I am who I am.
That's what gets them off time. Somebody likes to over-explain. Shot collar. There we go.
Jonathan, don't give her any ammunition, okay? This lady doesn't need anything. She's part Hispanic too. She's plenty fiery.
Well, with her being Hispanic, shot collar's like an electric fence around your neck, Tom.
Oh boy.
My room.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't happen, Ricky.
Shot collar would make the meeting a lot more interesting too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not for me.
I can hear everybody in the meeting say, "Do it again. Do it again."
One more time. One more time.
We'd say, "Look, she only gets to zap again if everybody everybody as a whole will donate at least $10,000 to the club, then I'll let it happen, right?
Mhm.
JW, they had a local state bee inspector at their club last night.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go, Tom.
Oh, thanks so much, Morris Homestead.
Thank you. It's my personality. I want to be very detailed about what it is that I'm explaining, okay? Some people like that, okay?
One, you got one.
No, only one that spoke up.
Everybody else has told me you're a shot caller for you.
I was hoping JW would back me up, but he seemed to be leaving me hanging there, you know?
Yeah, he was kind of leaving you out to dry.
He threw me under the bus for sure. Jeez. I think so did Jonathan. He threw me under the bus.
If anybody looks up there in that corner, they got a little blue area in the comments you can click on and join the live.
Yeah.
Yeah, JW, you want to come in? Come on in.
I'm on in there. You all friends here?
You don't know what you're talking about, kid.
You hear the teenagers in the background.
Talkaholic.
Alcoholic.
Well, get in here and shut me down, JW.
Did you buy this?
Your dad did.
So what's next for your bee colonies, Ricky? What do you have?
Just slamming supers on them. Slamming supers on them.
That's a good idea.
I've got those spicy colonies that I did all those splits with, and I'm just waiting for that breeder queen to come in and then start replacing those queens out. So
Yeah.
that's the game plan. I just
What'd
didn't
you
want to
do?
lose the flow with, just didn't want to lose the flow. And by doing the splits, I'm actually getting myself ahead because when that new queen goes in there, that colony should be really built up really, really nicely. So
Yeah.
that's my game plan, basically.
So
What'd you do?
are you
Take some of my
going-
bees home with you? You said you
we
had
got
some
some-
spicy ones.
Yeah, we got a few of your bees up here.
Now, are you going to raise any of those to sell, I'm guessing?
Yes, I hope to sell some of them. Yes. So
Now, does that mean you're going to ship some as well?
I hope to get there to shipping some. That is correct. Yep.
Well, there you go, everybody. When Ricky gets his breeder queen in, be sure to hit him up so we can make this worth his while so that his wife does not hang him for buying a breeder
Oh
queen.
no.
What?
Good.
Oh, no.
No, he did not.
Mm.
What all did he lose? How bad was it?
Oh no.
Give us the down low.
I may not get my queen now.
Oh,
All
boy.
right, Tom, I think you might be in trouble now.
Yep. We got some muscle coming in.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Here it is.
How are you doing, Mr.
Some of
JW?
them girls.
his farm got hit bad.
JW,
Oh,
tell us what's good.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. As fast as he was here, he's gone.
You scared him away, Tom. Hey, Jonathan, did you get your breeder queen already? Because me and Jonathan was going to switch some stock.
Yeah.
So
You need
No.
some more guns there, Tom? I'll let you borrow some.
Oh boy, there it is. Right there. Hey, Lee, at the end of the night from working, I'm tired. I don't want to lift anything.
I do that almost every evening now when I come in.
all them supers you've been picking up, Lee, you should be top notch right now, brother.
Right?
I got to keep weights by the chair because I don't do nothing but sit on my butt all day at work.
Well, technically, he is lifting a lot of weight if he's in a crane. Just he himself is not the one lifting it.
Move a finger and it.
Using his
pulls.
finger and his wrist there to maneuver some joysticks, right?
Now you see me, now you don't. Grab JW.
Yeah.
Jonathan said he ordered virgins from him.
Right.
He got hit bad.
Mm.
Damn.
Got them over a week ago. Okay. Yeah, that's not good.
No. I might need to send him an email just to see what's going on, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm sure he can use some prayers on that anyway, you know?
No doubt. 100%. That's gotta be bad.
Yeah.
So Tom and Melissa, what y'all doing right now with your bees? Are you guys kind of just building up also, just trying to get some honey, or what's your game plan?
Yeah, we do have supers on. I shouldn't say most, on some of our, we have them in different stages. I mean, I don't remember how many splits. Melissa was adding up everything that we had, all the nukes that we added. But we do have a lot of stuff supered. Yes. There's a couple of them that we did put the cut cone shallow supers on.
58. We have 58
Is that what it is?
nukes right now going that need to be put into double deep 8 frames because they're nukes with an upper box also. So they've got 10 frames right now, and they're 1 or 2 of them actually have 3 boxes.
Actually, you're not counting the ones up at the shop and stuff too.
No,
There's
I'm
1,
not
2,
counting
3,
the shop
4,
He's back.
4, 58. So
62. So we've got 62 nukes right now that need to be moved into 8 frame equipment.
I might need more equipment than I thought. Might have to call Daniel back.
So we got some stuff to move around.
Yes,
But with those, he needs to make some hive stands too because they fit fine. In the nukes, there's plenty of room for them on the stands that they're on now. But once they move into 8 frame, it takes up more space. We're gonna need more space to put them on. So plus we're going to set up another yard, so that's another chore.
JW, how's your bees doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. I'm having a little Wi-Fi problems, I think, popping in and out. So. I just wanted to come on and aggravate for a minute.
Well, tell us what's going on in your neck of the woods. Let's hear about it.
Time and rent.
Yes, sir. What about those bees?
Just doing my thing. I'm splitting and running out of equipment and buying equipment.
Well, do me a favor, buy me some and send it my way, would you?
Hive and swarms.
How's your horizontal hive after you moved your bees around in it, JW?
Sir?
How's your horizontal doing now that you've moved your bees to the other side? They doing
They're
better?
great. And I've even expanded. I'm up to 17 frames, almost full frames of bees in that little sucker.
Wow.
That swarm that
like crazy.
That swarm that I called at work a couple weeks ago, I started doing 5 frames in the horizontal, and I think they're up to about 9 right now.
Wow.
She started laying some of them out with bricks in there. I mean, wall to wall brood. So I added a couple extra frames to them.
That's awesome.
Jonathan just sent me a video and some pictures. Let me see if I can forward those to you, Lee, so maybe you can post those so everyone can see what is happening there.
No.
Shabu's
Yeah, let's see. How can I
You
do
sending that on text or email or
this?
Dropbox?
What would you like me to send them to?
If it's video, Dropbox. Pictures, you can text or email, either one.
click on the picture.
We had bad storms, windstorms, straight line winds last night. We've got trees down everywhere, and we're rarely without power here where I live, and we were out. We had power lines down, and quite a bit of damage. My neighbor had it was an older barn that blew the barn down. But, we had.
Dang.
And we got a lot of big trees down. The car company boys are still working tonight. So
I can't do the video.
Now, is that common, JW, where you're at to get those straight line winds like that?
pretty much anymore. They've taken out, I call them sodbusters, the row crop farmers taking out all the fence rows and the small woods. So they're ground greedy, and it seems like our wind is a lot worse than. I came to this area in 1965, and it's worse now quite a lot than what it was with all the fence rows and stuff when I first came up here. So,
So does that affect your bees and stuff also, JW? Do you have them kind of in a area they don't get hit as hard?
no, they don't. It don't seem to really bother them that much. Honestly, I've got all my bees primarily. Well, my main production apiary is this is what you see in the picture right behind me. That's an old round pen that I used to break horses in. and after I got out of the cattle business and quit, got too old to break horses, well, I changed it into a beehive.
Hey there, Mr. Larry.
Lee, I didn't have the Dropbox thing downloaded on my phone, so I just sent them through text message to you. There's only a few pictures. The other one is a video, and I'm not going to be able to send
Good
that.
evening.
It's on Facebook.
All right.
It'll give everybody an idea, though. Jonathan Bennett just sent it to me.
Larry, you doing all right tonight? He may not be able to hear us.
May not.
I can hear him there.
He may be like me and don't have the volume turned up. I did that today.
Good evening.
You got
Can
her
you hear
now.
us, Mr. Larry?
Oh, wow. Man, I hope he didn't have all his breeder queens there in that spot.
That would not be fun there.
No. Look at that.
Mm.
Several trees just split off. Wow.
What are those trees? Cypress, are they?
That's cedar. That's eastern red cedar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of them. That's the reason I didn't recognize them. It's too close to home.
I can see there's a bunch of oaks that are down in there too on the picture. That the foliage there in front of that is a big oak tree. Looks like from a white oak, I think. So, yeah, praying that everything is okay, given what we see there.
No doubt.
Mark Miller, you gonna eat? We ate at that Denny's last year when we were at a tractor show in Warrenton. Tell him we said hi.
Yeah. Straight line of winds.
I don't know where those storms were in Tennessee last night. I don't know if they was close to Mark or not. Mark Miller just responded there, and he's in Warrenton, out in the great state of Missouri.
Yeah, he's about an hour away from us right now. Just
Near far enough.
northwestish.
Mm-hmm. So, JW, how many splits have you made this year?
27.
And did you use all mated queens in those, or what? How did that work?
Well, I did till I run out, and I have to graft a few. I'm headed for. I ordered some from Dwayne Davis there at Dogwood.
Mm-hmm.
He gets some of those Louisiana, Minnesota hygienics or whatever they call them.
Mm-hmm.
They're what they are is an Italian hybrid of some kind. I've had pretty decent luck with them. I use them for fill-ins. I grafted a few, and my grafts, I just put in 12 grafts, and I got 8. I think 6 of them. I got 8.
Not until June.
I got 8 virgin queens, and I think I got 6 of them back. That got mated, but I'm out of queens. I've got a couple of 3 queenless hives right now, so I'm supposed to run down to Wayne Davis's Tuesday, pick up some queens from him. I'm gonna get maybe half a dozen or so. Hopefully, I can get through to get a few more.
That's probably not too far from you, right?
That's 80 mile. That's what it is.
That's not so bad. Yeah, not too bad.
80 mile one way, so it makes it. Yeah, just about. I can make it in an hour.
Yeah, I know you get a heavy foot, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, if he takes
I'm heavy all over.
Just take the plane.
Yeah.
Swing by, pick me up. I need a
Good.
break for this week. I'm done with this week. I'm over it.
Oh, yeah. I wish I was. I hived a swarm right before that. Did you guys have the storm come through yesterday afternoon or late early?
Sure did.
Yep.
I was mowing the apiary area that you see, that round pin apiary area that's right behind me in the picture. I was mowing that with the blower yesterday in the wood. And I've got a 2-frame double deep with 3 medium supers on top of them. And this sucker decided to swarm yesterday, right while I was mowing. And they come up, and I don't know. I can't get my hand up there on the camera. But there's a persimmon tree right there on the other side of that gate that you see where my finger is.
Yeah.
And they went up in it. So I had the neighbor come over, and I got a high lift on a big tractor, front end loader.
Mhm.
He raised me up there, and it would just start to rain. I got soaking wet before I got those bees. I don't think I got the queen. I was in such a rush to get them in a tote, and I put them in the tote overnight. And yesterday afternoon, just about dark, I went out there, and there was about a double handful of bees hanging on a little larger limb. I think that queen must have been there because they hung there all night last night. And I went out there first thing this morning and got back up in there and had the neighbor come over again. He raised me back up there, and I got her this time because they was calling them home when I got the. But I think I missed the queen. I didn't see the queen today, but I know from the action of the bees, they had their tails up with the fan in it
Yeah.
to come in. So
Yeah.
I got her this trip. So
Good deal.
so I don't know. I've got to look in that hive and see what they left there. That was the mama. She was last year's queen. So I don't know where she flew the coop on me or not. So we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I've been doing is fighting swarms, splitting and fighting swarms, you know.
It's been kind of a crazy year. You know, it seems like that you are not the only one. We've had, I don't know, 6-ish, maybe 7.
Oh, let's see. There was 4 in that yard, 5, 6, 7. No, we've probably had like 9 because the ones with Lomdell and those cedar trees behind the hives.
Mm-hmm.
So we've probably had 9
Yeah.
that we know about.
Yeah.
Nine that we know of.
I had one other hive swarm, and they bivouacked to my right over here in a tree. Oh, that's basically my production apiary. There's 20 hives even in that yard right there, and they bivouacked in a tree. Well, I went out there and I put a 10-foot ladder in the back of my pickup truck so I could get up to him, but I about half got him. But I did shake him and got him on the ground, and I got him pecked on my toad, and I got him in the tote. I just left him there. The next morning, I left a crack in the tote just in case some more wanted to come in, and instead of coming in, they all went out. So the next morning, I goes out there and I picks them up with a handful, and I put them back in the box. And fast as I was putting them in the tote, they just flying back up. They went right back on that same limb. I hung by my toes on that ladder in the back of the pickup truck the night before.
Yeah.
And you could tell by looking at me, anybody that don't know me, I'm no kid, you know. So
I thought you were just turned 27.
yeah. So yeah.
Well, you should make some videos so we can watch this entertainment. I'm liking it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they flew back up on that very same limb, and I said, "Well, wait a second. I have a son that lives on this particular farm, and he works for the prison system. He gets home at 3:00. So I said, I'm not getting back on that ladder to get you suckers down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to wait till he gets home. He can raise me up in the front end, you know, the loader on the tractor."
Mm-hmm.
And before he got home, them suckers come off out of that bivouac. Guess where they went to? I followed them right back into the hive.
Is that right?
Oh, my
They
word.
came out of the day before. The 2 days before, actually. And they went back home. I guess I may have killed a queen, when I've dropped them all on the ground or lost her or something. And they decided they couldn't make up their mind where they wanted to go. So they just went back home, went back in the hive.
Interesting.
I thought it was.
Greg Burns talked about in his live chat yesterday a situation very similar to that where they end up going back into the hive again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not just like yours, but they did go back. So I'm just curious. So everybody, we're kind of putting ourselves out there, right? With us talking about our colony swarming. Who else in the comments has had their own colony swarm? And then if the answer is yes, tell us how many of yours you've seen hit the trees or that have swarmed. So we're not feeling left out here, right? Ricky, did you say that you had a couple of yours swarm? Is that correct?
Yeah, even after they're doing the splits, they still swarm. So that was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not something that normally happens, but yeah.
We had the exact same experience. Everything that we had swarm in the 2 yards that we had caught and found, both of those are yards that got split fairly heavy. So
I've only had the 2 splits, and most of them, one of them had been split twice.
Yeah.
The one that went back into the hive had been split twice prior to them swarming.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where
we normally do pretty good with them, but I had one the last time we went in. But there were so many bees in the box, we had no idea that they had swarmed until we went through and just finding the queen, just finding the eggs, a few boxes. But we were late. We were late getting in them. Rain has just wore us out here the last while. This week we had a big day planned today. We got I think about 7 Demarays still that we're rotating brood in. And we try to stay on a pretty tight 7-day schedule. Have our big day planned. Weatherman said okay. Woke up this morning, it's rained about all day. So our plan and the weatherman's plan and the bees plan just didn't seem to be going together. But so as far as we know, I think that's only one of our big hives that we've had swarmed this year.
Yeah.
We actually had 4 swarms that we've caught. We had 2 we had to get our swarm traps into boxes. We did manage to keep that in between showers today. So we've got 4 swarms that we've caught, and one that left, and like I said, they didn't leave them. They left a lot of bees behind. So
Yeah.
still be doing good.
That's good.
At least we hope now. The rain stops. We'll check, see how we did this week. Maybe we didn't take off another one.
Yeah, it'll be kind of hard to make queens if there's a lot of rainy weather, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's the one thing that's kind of been nice around us is it seems like the rains have been coming at night, not so much during the day. So at least,
yeah.
If you're trying to make queens, they're able to get out in there and do those mating flights.
We had a couple that swarmed right before a rainstorm, which seemed to be really odd to me. Has anybody ever had that happen? Have you guys ever seen that? Generally, if there's like a low pressure moving in, you would think the bees would sense that and they wouldn't swarm, but they had swarmed. That was the one that Melissa had done a video on a couple weeks back of me climbing up in the cedar tree and getting them out of there as it was literally starting to storm. Wind was blowing hard, and they were not the second swarm I had captured out of that tree on that day, because there was 3 different ones. They were not nice. I don't usually wear a lot of protection when I'm catching swarms, and these guys, I had on a veil or something, and I think I had on a rain jacket, and they tore my wrists up a little bit. So
that's kind of what happened to Ruth. Was that swarm had come out? It had already rained on them twice that morning, which was crazy. They swarmed out and it rained on them twice.
yeah,
But as she was trying to get them out, they were really hot.
I think because they were just rained on. They're not happy.
it would seem likely that would be the case.
And actually, those bees that we got out of those cedar trees when it was raining, we had no equipment with us because we were just stopping by that bee yard to check something. So we didn't have any throw supers on, maybe.
I think so.
So we didn't have any real equipment on us. So like maybe 5 miles down the road, like this is in the middle of nowhere. And then like 5 miles down the road. It's a little bitty town, and there's a little diner there that we usually eat lunch at when we're working this bee yard. Like, you know what? They've always got cardboard boxes around the back out by the dumpster. Let's go run down there. So we ran down there and raided their dumpster area of like 4 cardboard boxes, went back to our yard and shook those bees into these boxes. And that picture that Lee showed earlier that had that little barn thing in the back, it was that yard.
Mhm.
And we put them in that barn while we went back to the diner and had lunch.
Mhm. Yeah, those boxes were getting pretty wet and they were going to collapse pretty quickly. So
Yeah, that little,
it's like a little lean-to barn.
yeah,
Used to be a cattle field, I think, before all the cedars started growing up in there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of open in the front.
That's a good photo.
Oh yeah, you missed the photo session earlier, Ricky, when you were late. You missed
Yeah.
the
Oh,
photos.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, we start here at 7, okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's your-
You're gonna have to watch the replay.
Well, hey, I guess JW, we should give him a pass. You know that?
I don't know.
We're just gonna give him
I'm
a
not
pass.
much on passes. I'm not much on passes now.
Well, generally, I'm not either, but he was
you
doing.
started handing out passes, then you got to hand out participation trophies too.
You
Well,
can't.
Yeah.
You can't use making a living and doing business for an excuse. You can't. You can't let your work overcome your passion.
Yeah.
The problem is the work is his passion.
I do think with all the rain we've had, that's really going to turn the flow on, especially in their area, that it's going to be super hard for the next 2 or 3 weeks is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. As long as those bees have some good fly days, not too much wind, too much weather, any cold, let them fly and let them bring it back in.
It blew a gale here today again. Did y'all get pretty windy there in your area today?
I wouldn't say it was a little breezy, which I was kind of glad to see. It was kind of helping to dry things out just a little bit because it was pretty wet this morning. We were actually out mowing a bunch of properties and we were hitting it pretty hard. And I didn't want to start late today, but it was breezy. I wouldn't say windy, but breezy for sure.
Where are you located in Hallelujah? There, where are you located?
We're in South Carolina. We're about 40 miles east of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're almost at North Carolina.
Charlotte. Okay, gotcha. We just been getting lots of rain and lots of wind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went to bed last night knowing they said rain was coming through. We had a storm come through yesterday, real bad. And then they said it was going to rain between about 3 and 4 o'clock this morning, which we knew, but it was supposed to end after that until this afternoon, according to the weather report. So we made plans to get up and get an early start this morning, even though it's going to be wet. I got up about 15 to 6, and it's raining then. It just kept on raining. I looked at the radar, and it was backed up all the way into Georgia.
Yeah.
They did stop. There was a break in between. I got breakfast, and the rain stopped, and they said it was going to start back after 11. So we got some stuff prepared, and about the time we got stuff prepared, about 9:30, it started raining again. Most of the day. So in between a couple of breaks, we did get our 2 swarms out of boxes and get them into a hive. Both of them went into a 10 frame. A couple of good swarms. That's about all we got done in the bee world today outside. It's too wet to cut grass. We got grass back in the yard so squishy you can't even cross it now. We got several inches over the last couple of few days, like every day this week to get roll through. But like that, bees and weather you can't control too much.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've only got 1 yard that we can't work if it rains bad.
Which one?
Sturdy Farms.
We've been down in there. That's that one's a tough yard for Melissa.
That is a tough yard for me. I don't like that one.
She doesn't. We have a bee yard that's I'm gonna say maybe 6-7 miles from our house. We call it the Sturdy Farms yard because it's Sturdy Farms. They raise cattle, some cattle, as well as
Lambs and sheep.
some sheep, I think.
Lambs, sheep, something
Yeah.
like that.
And real nice folks. We like dealing with them. But they gave us a nice spot by the pond that we have started last year, raising a bunch of splits off. And I don't know, there's probably 30 something colonies there. And there's a double gate, kind of like what's over JW's left shoulder there. One of those
The red gate,
like
the
the
cattle
red,
gate.
the cattle gate there. And Melissa took my work truck, and when she was going down in there, my extended cab door, when I got back and looked at it, it's got a dent in it with the red paint on it. And I'm not talking a little dent. I'm talking that's probably about 18 inches long dent.
I think we talked about this last week.
Did we
don't
talk
need to-
about it?
Yeah, we don't need to bring it back
I
up.
feel like we do need to bring it up, though. You know? So, JW, she's wrecking my truck. That's what I'm saying here. I don't know what I should do now.
That's what women are for. Give her a pair of chest waders and send her back out there.
I feel like it's only fair I take her car down in there and at least get it stuck in the field, you know, and just leave it. Let her get it out. Of course, with all this rain, you'd probably be stuck down there most of the spring.
Well, you better thank the good Lord that you got good help. I'm short on help on my end, so.
Yeah. Well, I'll send her up to you. She's got a strong back, but
Good.
hey, she's got a stronger mouth, so you have to deal with that.
That's my kind of woman. Strong-willed and strong-backed.
That's it.
How much you renting her out for, Tom?
Give me an offer. What is it? Come on.
Oh man,
Throw some numbers to me, guys. Let's see.
I don't know about the strong back part. I think you made that up.
Hey,
well,
you guys,
if I got to feed her 50 cents,
Advertisement going on here.
you guys are paying enough. I'll make sure she has a strong back. Okay. I think Lee
told
had some
y'all.
weights there in the background he was showing earlier.
I already told y'all I only keep Tom around to lift those heavy boxes.
I'm not doing it anymore.
you get you one of those Hive lifters, Tom. That way you're okay.
I
I was hoping Sawmill Charlie loaned me one, you know. Not
Yeah.
sure if he's still in the comments there or not, but
Well, I was listening to their chat the other day when they had Troy Hall on, and they were talking about the two-way pallets that Brad makes, and that you can use that Hive lifter to lift those two-way pallets. I'd like to see a video on that and how that works, because we talked about kind of just, we've talked previously about doing like the two-way pallets before, but Tom's always been like, well, that'd be a pain to move those if we need to move those, you'd have to have a machine out there then, which I agree, it would be a pain. But anyway, I'd like to see a video on somebody moving those two-way pallets with that Hive lifter.
You need to have Tom get you one of those Seth Hill special lifters. Did you see his?
Oh yeah.
what is it?
Good enough for you.
that dolly, that thing.
Hey, let me tell you what. Anymore, I'm not interested in that kind of manual labor. I'm interested in a machine. That's what I want. I want a machine that'll move that stuff.
Well, you got one sitting to your right there.
That's true. That's true. She is right here. She's a machine.
We're gonna have to turn this camera off. Somebody is.
Mhm.
If my camera goes blank, you guys know what's going on. Okay. Send help. That's right. Well, I'd imagine JW, you got a couple tractors up there with forks on them. You can just move stuff around pretty easy, yeah.
Well, yeah, if it's not too soft.
Yeah.
Ground gets. We had a little over an inch last night.
Yeah.
So we've just been
That-
about every
That's
3 days getting about an inch. It's the farmers can't get in the field. It's wet enough. They can't. They're dying to get in the fields.
I bet.
that storm that come through yesterday, JW. I don't know how loud it was at your house. That thunder was like insanely loud here. Like that was the loudest thunder I've heard in a long time.
It actually shook the ground here.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit of damage around me. The neighbor's barn, or one of the neighbor's barns blew down. It's quite a bit of damage.
I mean, I don't know if anybody uses doesn't Ian use the 2-way pallets with his operation, but he's got that fancy lifter thing that I can't afford that one.
She didn't see it.
I saw it.
Lee went to bed on us.
Yeah. Larry, does anybody help you with your bees, or are you just pretty much all by yourself down there?
It's me and Jan. Whatever we can, or Jan and me, whichever way it goes. But no,
Did you see that?
her dad's the one that had it started, so he helped him before I ever started. And I was just backup to the backup for the last several years before he passed away. He got where he needed some help, so he would help him. And they'd call me in. First time I got called in was for get a swarm down out of a tree. They wanted me to pick him up the tractor bucket, get swarm down. So that's how I really got into it. But then I would show up when he needed to do a hive at night or something. And so he passed away, and so we do everything pretty much together.
That's awesome.
That's great. Your audio is breaking up just a little bit there. I don't know if there's a reason for it or not. It's breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, DC, I've got some colonies that I'm going to get some honey with. I'm going to put 10 on sourwood coming up in July, but I've got about 10 colonies that I kept really strong, and I hope for those to end up giving me enough honey to get me through the season. I eat honey in my coffee and my tea, but for the most part, I don't use a lot of honey here at the house. I just sell what we get a lot of times. So, but we are getting a lot more people asking for it. So we're going to try to push it up just a little higher than what we normally do.
Oh, look at that. Yep. Looks like a cattle gate to me, don't you think, JW?
Yeah, that's for sure. Cattle. It's got cattle written all over it.
Oh, yeah.
The picture looks worse than it is.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Not at all. Hey,
Who did that?
Him?
No, I didn't.
I did it.
Melissa did that?
That's
Right in
right.
the corner a little
Oh
bit
my!
sharp, didn't she?
Yes, sir. That's
Well,
exactly what happened.
I didn't want to open that second gate. And then I
Wrong
hit
angle, the right angle.
the tire. Yeah.
Mhm.
The tire hit the concrete block that the second gate sits on. And when it hit that, it bumped the gate up and made it pop into the truck. But guess who has a spare door sitting at his workshop?
Mm.
So
Wow.
there we go. Problem solved.
That doesn't mean I want to
No
put it
issue.
on.
No issue. No foul.
It's an issue, all right.
That's just experience. That's just the mode of experience you got there, Melissa. I won't affect the way that truck runs in any way. That little
That's right. It's a work truck.
That's right.
It's a work truck.
It's more
JW
aerodynamic that way.
Just keep your mouth shut, JW. Quit giving her any. I gotta make this, make this sound really bad.
Yeah.
So after that happened, I was at that particular yard by myself. After that happened, though, my one son met up with me to go load stuff and go to another bee yard, and he sees it. I'm like, so what do you think your dad's gonna say? And so he's like, he's probably gonna say, I'm the only one. I have. What do you say? What do you always say?
I don't know. You
He's
tell me.
like, I'm the only one in this house that doesn't have it. This is why I can't have a nice truck, or I don't know. And then you said like it word for word. What you always say the same thing.
I don't know. You tell me. If I say it all the time, then you would know the phrase then. Right?
Isaac.
Sounds like to me she's trying to make stuff up, guys.
No.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm on here.
He's like, I have one nice.
I
it's
drive
not even that
I
nice
drive the
truck.
oldest vehicle
Yeah.
out of my entire family. And I just want to have something that is decent, right? I don't put a lot of value in my vehicles, I just they're just means and modes of transportation. if I can't make money with it, I don't usually buy it. You know what I mean? Or if it's not something that I'm not a guy that'd go out and spend $100,000 on the truck. I wouldn't. I might spend $100,000 on bees, but probably not the truck.
Yeah, you might not want to buy nothing for yourself, Tom, but if a certain somebody, would, take care of you a little bit, you'd take it, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I might forget all about it. She could buy me a new truck too, not brand new, but newer. Yep. Now that she damaged that one, she can keep it. I'll get a new one.
All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut the live off tonight at 10 o'clock because I still have some stuff to wrap up and get this truck ready for the wife to drop off some stuff in the morning. So I do appreciate everybody on here. JW, thank you for coming on, brother. And Larry from Hallelujah Bee Farm, we appreciate you guys coming on talking with us. And everybody in the chat, of course, we're always blessed to have your presence with us. And we wish you happy beekeeping. Good night.
Good night.